Welcome to the Growing Your Business podcast. This is the show that dives into the big question, what's in it for me, for both the business and its customers? On each episode, we sit down with a business owner or leader to uncover their why, their values, and the stories that drive them to grow their business. So joining me today in the studio is Mario Wilson with 12 Media Group to join us on the Growing Your Business podcast. Mario, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me on, buddy. Appreciate it.
Excellent. So I've known you from several different meeting groups here in the North Dallas area. Mario, tell me why people should do business with you, and tell me, some of the things you offer your customers.
Yeah, thank you for that question. So we are a video production company. So people don't come to us for the what, meaning the video. They come to us for the why, and typically the how. Yeah. And so video is all the rage now to help businesses build trust. That's our main thing. That's the main thing that we want people to know when they visit one of our clients' websites where we've done the video for them. We want them to feel warm and fuzzy about that company. And, a lot of the phones out there can do a great job with video. There's a lot of things that you can do yourself. People come to us because they want that polished, professional look that they can use for years to come. And I always tell people, be sure to supplement your content, with phone DIY content. But if you want something that's going to last for years, that's going to speak to your audience in a way that they understand the value that you're bringing, then we are definitely going to be a fit, for them to make that type of investment, again, to build trust for their business.
And I've seen that you practice what you preach. So I follow you on LinkedIn and Facebook and whatnot, and I've seen you post really polished stuff, which is great for your brand, tells a story well, shows what you can do. And people, when they see quality video, it does draw them in. Right. For all the right reasons, good storytelling, story told well through the lens. But you also post social media clips that are just like on an iPhone, which again, the right tool for the right job, right? If you need to do something quickly and whatnot, use an iPhone, or something to that effect. But when you want to tell a story well and you respect your audience, and that's the other thing is you want your audience not to waste their time with just quote unquote, quick media, a polished message. And that's why companies spend so much money on their marketing and commercials and things like that. And smaller businesses, you don't need to have that budget, but you do need to have that intention.
Yes.
So tell me about your process.
Oh, I love that question. That is a really big deal for me and for us.
Yeah.
And there's nothing at all against freelancers.
Right.
They're great. We sometimes rely on them for projects.
Yep.
But since we're a production team in a group, we're able to really put our processes together to have a streamlined experience for the customer.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to start off with the discovery call. I want to learn not just what you want. Obviously, people are contacting us for video.
Yeah.
We want to make sure, though, that we're meeting some goals that they have, because there's been times where we've had a discovery call and I'm like, based on what you're telling me, I'm not sure a video is right for you right now. That's not going to help you hit that goal. So we want to go over the assets they want, whether they want video, we do some picture assets as well. So we're going to get into the details of what they're actually looking for, what they need. And then from there, we're going to put together an agreement, proposal for them. Once they agree on everything, we're going to schedule the video. Now, buddy, the most important part of our process, bar none, is the pre-production call or pre-production meeting. I'm blown away by how many people are not doing this in the video space. I can't even imagine showing up on shot day and not knowing what we're talking about, who's talking, all the different things. So that is the most important part of our process, is the pre-production call about a week prior to the shoot. And this is where we have any of the decision makers on the call. Sometimes it's a regular phone call, sometimes it's a Zoom, and we're going through all the details. Who's speaking? What are the topics? We're even getting into the details of what people should be wearing in the shoot. Where we're going to be, shooting the different locations, because sometimes we have a different multiple location shoot. Where within their office they think would be best. Now, it's our job creatively to get there early, scope out the scene, see what's going on. But typically they know, hey, this boardroom would be great for this scene, or this office would be good. And then what that does is it allows us to put together the shot list.
Yeah.
And so we never want to show up on shot day unprepared. So our production assistant will have the iPad. All the shots are in there, all the people's names and their roles.
Yeah.
And even to the point of making sure that we're getting the high resolution logo so that we can put that at the end of the video, the best phone number to call. And so I was thinking about this on the way over, the confidence that we have because we've done the pre-production call, we're so prepared, it transfers to the customer.
Right.
They're very laid back and confident because we are, calm, we're together because we know exactly what we need to do.
Yeah.
And as you probably understand, being, having a video background, most people don't like to be on camera.
No.
And so
they're very nervous about it.
Yeah. When they know.
It's like their number one hang up, really.
Number one hang up.
It isn't budget or any of those stuff. It's, my gosh, what am I going to do when they aim a camera at me?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so imagine if the production team was just as stressed as you are.
Yeah.
That would be it'd be like going to the doctor and they're really
Everyone's
stressed
nervous.
about that would be not
before surgery. You don't want a bunch of nervous
Right.
doctors and nurses.
You want the doctor to be prepared. You want to enter in courtroom with an attorney that's prepared, done their research,
confident.
done their homework, and confident. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's the most important part.
That makes sense.
Then obviously we have shot day. We're getting all the shots.
Yeah.
Then we get into the editing process. One thing that really separates us is that, and we don't really include this in our agreements as far as like revisions, because we are going to revise until you love it.
Yeah.
My philosophy is if you don't love the video, we're not done.
Right.
And so there's a lot of companies, and again, this is not bad business, that will put in, hey, you get 2 revisions and then we're done. I'm like, you know what? We're going to revise until you love it.
Yeah.
But I will tell you this, we don't encounter those because of the pre-production process.
Right, your process saves you from that.
Exactly.
And them too.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause no one likes to get in an infinite loop of decisions.
Exactly. So we kind of already have the idea of the look and feel, how they want the end user to feel when they watch the video. So by the time that we deliver the video, they love it. Now, obviously, we can make some tweaks. So we're on about a 2-week turnaround right now for the deliverables. And so, and then we make sure that they have a marketing plan in place to make sure that the video does not sit in Dropbox.
Yeah, no, because that's the saddest part of our business. Sometimes is you put all this time and day. The customer puts all this money and time into a product.
Yes.
And then they don't have an execution plan of
Right.
how they're going to deliver it and whatnot. So, but that I imagine is in your discovery call.
Oh,
As in,
absolutely.
It's not just what we're making for you; is how it's going to get out there and do what you need it to do, which is help your business find customers.
100%. So I'm asking them, where is this video going? Do you see it on the website? Is there a specific page on the website? Who is managing the website to make sure that they can actually make this happen? Or is this social media content? Is this for ad content? So we want to make sure, again, what the goals are, but also make sure that they have a plan in place and a company in place. And that's why marketing companies are great strategic partners for us.
You bet.
Because if they don't have a plan, I'm going to refer them over and say, hey, we don't do the marketing piece, but make sure you connect with XYZ company to make sure that, again, we want the case study.
Right.
It's great to do a great video and have it for a portfolio, but if it's not making your business grow and making you money, then we have failed. So I want to make sure that they have that plan in place.
Tell me about the 12 on your shirt.
Love
talk
that
to me
question.
about how you built your business around that.
Yes. So when I first started the company years ago, it was called Market with Mario.
Okay.
And so what I wanted to do was remove myself from the branding, because as we started to grow and I started bringing on people to help me out, it wasn't just me. I didn't want people to think, oh, it's just this guy with a camera that's showing up on site. We have a team, Dylan, Michaela, others. And so I really wanted to get my name out of the branding. I'm a big, believer. Faith is very strong, or faith is very important to me. And the number 12, Buddy, just kept over and over and over, just beating me over the head with number 12. And I'm like, as I was thinking about a different name, and I'm like, you know what? That's it. And the rest just kind of flow with it. The media group, and there's so many significant stories in the Bible with the number 12. There's so many significant parts there. And I'm like, that's it. And so I told my fiance. We're actually getting married on Thursday.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
By the time this airs, you'll be newlyweds.
Exactly.
Wonderful.
Exactly.
That's exciting.
And told her about that. And she goes, no way. My favorite number is 12. Like, I had no clue. And then she had another, tangent. So I'm like, okay, that's confirmation.
Yep.
And so I started to, rebrand, logo, everything that goes into a rebrand. You know how that goes.
Yep.
But really appreciate you asking that, because it means a lot to me. My favorite Bible verse is Romans 12:12. You're not going to be able to see it, but I have a tattoo, right here on my arm with that. So that's the background there.
We'll put that in the show notes too.
Yeah.
So we just scroll down on whatever device you're listening or hearing this, and you'll see that verse. Tell me your why. You got into this business for a reason.
Yeah.
And kind of tell me about your career path, how you got to where you are.
Oh, I love this. So I started out, I was working for an MLM, and it was great. It was the fitness one, and I'm into working out, I'm into fitness and health. What I didn't like was hitting up friends and family and going through that whole thing, and inviting you and your wife over to a party and popping in a DVD and like, hey, what do you think? I didn't like that.
Yeah.
Especially with fitness, I was thinking it's kind of rude if I'm like, hey, I can help you get in shape if you're not looking for it. Right?
Yeah.
So I was like, how can I attract people to me? So I was researching, how to build a website, how to start YouTube, how to use social media. I was using these tools, and people would contact me and say, hey, we want that shake. We saw the video, whatever. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is working. And I enjoyed, right then and there, I knew I enjoyed the game of marketing more than I did working for the MLM.
Yeah.
And so the light bulb went off in my head, and I was like, I wonder if people would pay for me to show them how to do this stuff. I'm a terrible teacher, by the way.
I doubt that.
I really am, because I just, that's a whole nother show.
Sure.
But I started the business as a training company. I would meet people, show them how to do it, but it was draining me, and it was one-to-one, not one-to-many, so it was very difficult to scale that.
Yeah, there's a different kind of energy.
Yeah. And what I found was people, they would say, hey, that was great, but I don't have time to do this. Can I just give you my logins and you do it for me? And that's when I was like, okay, great. So I started managing, social media and things of that nature. The deeper why, though, is I'm passionate about the idea that business owners know what they need.
Yeah.
They sometimes don't have the time and or resources to be able to do it themselves. And I really saw the weight lifted off of them, because you could see how frustrated people would get. They knew they had to be active on social media. Yeah. They knew they needed video, but they just didn't know what to do, how to do it. Even if you told them what to do, they didn't have the time to do it.
Yeah.
So to be able to be a small part of their business to drive it forward and get those thank yous and get those case studies, to me, that's what it's all about, because I get really involved with our clients, meaning I truly care about the success of their business, or else I wouldn't be doing this. And as we've transitioned more to one-off projects, I'm still close with them, saying, hey, how did that video perform? Are there other, projects that you need that are similar to that?
Yeah.
But really, it's being able to fill a need, fill a gap that I know is making a difference in their company. Because like you mentioned, we're doing it for ours, and we see similar case studies with our own business with video and other marketing initiatives.
Yeah, that's terrific. Yeah, so the for you, the path has been, basically you've been helping people the whole time.
Yeah.
Now just in a different way.
Right.
In a way that you clearly have aligned your abilities with your drive. Stay with us. The Growing Your Business podcast will return right after this. The Growing Your Business podcast is sponsored in part by Visual Learning Solutions. Stands out with its expertise in crafting immersive audio and video experiences. Their creative team has over 30 years of experience delivering dynamic internal training programs tailored to various industries. They ensure the audience receives a compelling message, promotes brand awareness, and increases return on investment. They also excel in producing marketing content. Learn more at their website, visuallearningsolutions.com. Please check our show notes for sponsorship links and additional details. Now, back to the Growing Your Business podcast with Buddy Broyles. Give me a success story. You've had, I don't know how many customers in your time.
Yeah.
Probably a huge number.
Oh, I love this question so much. So, ideally, the service-based business is going to be best for us.
Gotcha.
We don't do a lot of product video. We don't do a lot of apparel. So if it's a service, we really want to have their people make the difference. Meaning, if you're a plumbing company, there's several plumbers. What makes you different?
Yeah.
If you're an attorney, there's so many attorneys out there. What makes you different?
Yeah.
So a service-based business that is large enough to have someone that's doing the marketing. They have a marketing director. They have someone in charge of the marketing that's not the owner.
Yeah.
And, there's nothing wrong with, solopreneurs and, a chuck in a truck kind of scenario,
Yeah.
right? But a lot of times they may be too emotionally attached to the money.
Yeah.
And so we want to work with people that have a budget and a marketing team, but they're small enough to where they don't have an in-house video production team.
Right.
And so typically that's going to be about $2 million and above.
Yeah.
Service type business is great. A recent success story for us, 9board Properties.
Okay.
So wow, that was such a fun project because the owner Mark, he gets it. So what they do is that it's a sell houses fast type of scenario.
Gotcha.
And it kind of falls in line, and I hope he's okay with me saying this because he knows this. It's like, you sell people, you do credit repair or sell houses fast, and you see the sign in the corner, like, I don't know if I can trust these guys. But trust was a main thing for them.
Yeah.
And what I enjoyed about when he reached out, I went to their About Us page because I had the same thought, like, is this a real company?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? And having his picture there, having his write-up, the success stories there, I knew he got it, right? And so we went with them on site. We shot 3 videos for them. I got to see him in action. I got to see his team in action, his right-hand man. Mm-hmm. And what was important for them was conversions. He was getting a ton of traffic to his website, but people were stalling out on the contact form and other pages. And so we had a strategy to shoot videos specifically for those pages to help conversions and help build trust. So that's one project that I'm really proud of. We have several home service contractors are huge for us. And we have several case studies in that department. One in particular, Hawkins Landscape.
Okay.
Really, really enjoyed working with them. And so they are a second generation business. So Jill and Bill, they own the company, and they're basically in the middle of transitioning and handing the keys over to their son, Blake.
Oh, wow.
So it was such a joy for us because, again, since we're filming on location, we get to see the behind the scenes. It's almost like someone walking you to the back of the kitchen. Are you really a clean kitchen? Are you really good at what you do?
Right.
And so we've worked with them now. We've done 3 or 4 big projects for them. But the most rewarding piece is watching Jill and Bill kind of go to the background and elevate Blake, who's their son.
Yeah.
And because the problem when you're, the face of the company, very similar to me, whenever you go somewhere, they're like, where's Jill? Where's Bill? We want to work with them.
Right.
So it was important for them to start to kind of rebrand to where he's going to be more involved.
Right.
And we showcased, I think it was 2 or 3 landscaping projects for them. We did one from very beginning to the end and showed that progress. That's another project that we're really proud of, for them, help them, gain some more, customers and more people that, how it's very visual.
Show the before and after.
I want this.
Yeah.
But I think the most important part of that was just, again, seeing the care that they take and the care that they're taking to make sure that their company is in great hands by not just, again, throwing him the keys and saying, hey, figure it out. They're there with him, like mentoring him.
Right.
But it was really neat to see the pride and the good pride
Right.
in their faces watching their son film the different scenes we were doing. That was really cool.
Because of your involvement, that's all documented so the public can see that too.
Right.
They can see the relationships. You can see the trust
Yes.
that they put in their son to take the keys,
Yeah.
because he understands. And I think that's the real value of what you've done for them is you've created the transition series for
Yeah.
the customers, so they know, who to deal with now and why, get to know the person, and obviously their process is similar to what the customers have been used to. That's wonderful. I think that's, as you know, I'm a content producer like you, and I think that's really the great thing that customers trust us with to tell their story.
Yeah.
Is to really kind of, like you said, go to the back of the kitchen and see that they actually care about the little details. Because one, it makes a good customer for us, but then we feel comfortable making and telling their story and basically we're advocating for them by using our skills to promote their brand. That's wonderful. Well, talking about your brand, what's the best way that you like to be reached?
Yeah, the best way is for people to go to our website, 12media.com.
Perfect.
And what they can do, they can learn a little bit more about us. And then we have some examples of our latest projects on the work page. I always tell people, go there, make sure that our style is a good fit for what you're looking for.
Right.
Of course, we could make some tweaks here and there, but we have a very particular style. And so we want to make sure that, you're going to be a good fit, as far as you liking the content that we've done before.
Yep.
And then we have a lot of our content on Instagram as well.
Terrific. And if I may ask, I know you're part of another podcast. Can we plug that in this show?
Oh, thank you so much. So I host a podcast called The Focus, and it's a business-based podcast. So if you are a vertical that helps other businesses, would love to talk and interview you and give some value to our audience.
Excellent. So tell me, for parting thoughts, we're wanting if a key takeaway of this show, and I have some thoughts on, because I've learned a lot from you just hearing about your business. If a customer just happened to go to the website and wanted to know more, talk to me about what they really should know about you.
That we truly care about not just producing great content for you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of companies that can do that. We care about the why you're actually contacting us in the first place.
The why.
The why. We want to help your company build trust. Like, if I can just echo that over and over again, because when people hear your actual team members, not an avatar, not an animated, person, when they see your face and your team and interacting, they're going to have a psychological level of trust with you there. And I would also say this, even if you're not able to hire a production company, we touched on this earlier, you have to get over that mental block of putting yourself on camera. It is big. Video is big right now.
Yeah.
So please make sure, whether you're using an iPhone or your own camera, your own setup, I would encourage any business out there to make sure that they're capturing real video of real projects of their real team until they can get to a point to where they can start investing into some video projects.
And that's important for them to try, because then again, as video creators, content creators, you realize how difficult it is to do it well.
Yeah.
And that's why you hire a professional.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. So Mario, I really appreciate you coming in the studio today and talking to us about what you do and why you do it.
Yeah, thanks for having me, buddy. Really enjoyed it.
Thank you for joining us today on the Growing Your Business podcast. Please see the show notes for links to our sponsors, our social media, and to learn more about today's guest.